Hey, what is up, guys, and welcome back to Football Discussions. We have mock draft 6.0 for you guys today, so let's get right into it. Starting off with the first overall pick, going to the Cincinnati Bengals. And before I actually get started, the order for the top 20 of the draft is set, so no more complaining about who's going where in my mind and who's going to pick where, because the top 20 is set, and then the rest of the order is just based off playoff seedings. But regardless, with the first overall pick, the Cincinnati Bengals are going to take quarterback Joe Burrow out of LSU. This guy's an overall beast, so calm, cool, collected in the pocket, knows how to extend plays, doesn't have the strongest arm in the class, but definitely is deadly accurate, and I like him a lot. And the Bengals are in desperate need of a quarterback, so it's just a perfect match at number one. With the second overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, I have the Washington Redskins getting Chase Young here, an edge rusher out of Ohio State. Overall beast. I believe he racked up close to 20 sacks, a lot of tackles for loss, really game wreckers, what we call these defensive ends who get to the quarterback so frequently and disrupt plays so frequently. And that's really what Chase Young is. I do believe he's even better than Nick Bosa, who's already making a ginormous impact for the San Francisco 49ers in the NFL. And I think Chase Young's talent can translate directly to the NFL. For the Redskins, they already have a pretty good defensive line, but I mean, Chase Young's a great addition. But I honestly, and we're not doing trades yet, I wouldn't be surprised if the Skins trade this one down here. They could get a lot of value for the second pick. A lot of teams are gunning for Chase Young, so it just makes sense for the Redskins to trade down. But we're not doing trades just yet, so we're going to have the Washington Redskins picking up the best player in the class, in my opinion, Chase Young, with this pick. With the third overall pick, we have the Detroit Lions getting Jeffrey Okudah, cornerback out of Ohio State. Reminds me a lot of Denzel Ward. I believe he's even a little better than Denzel Ward. Great ball skills, great in man coverage. His zone's a little iffy, but I'm a huge fan of his. Very strong, very talented, and the Lions secondary desperately needs help. They traded away Quadre Diggs. Darius Slay is getting up there in age, and I mean, they have a few mediocre pieces in that secondary, but nothing compared to what Jeffrey Okudah can bring, or Jeff Okudah as he's going by now, to the table. And I think it's an important addition for Detroit to add him here. With the fourth overall pick, I have Andrew Thomas going to the New York Giants, offensive tackle out of Georgia. They could go wide receiver here, but if Chase Young's off the board, I see them going offensive line. They need to be able to protect Daniel Jones better than they did this year. And Andrew Thomas is a great pass blocker, great on that blind side. Really a fantastic player, super strong, super explosive off the line, and I think he'll be a great addition in New York. With the fifth overall pick, I do believe Tua is going to declare. He announced that he's making his official decision on the 6th, but up until whether he declares or decides to come back to Alabama, we're going to keep him in these mock drafts. And honestly, in the past, I've put him in the 20s, but if he's available and if he's able to come back, and he seems to be healing quickly, he's already walking on that crutch, which is very fast after this surgery. But regardless, I do believe he'll start to rise back up into the top 10, top 5, and really the position of need and how you win in the NFL is the quarterback position. And when you're rebuilding an entire franchise like the Dolphins are right now, I think it is important to get your franchise quarterback when you want him, and I think Tua is their guy. So this pick is making sense to me now. With the 6th overall pick, and this is kind of a reach here for the Los Angeles Chargers, but they're going to need a quarterback. It's been made clear by both sides, whether it's Phillip Rivers or the Chargers, that Phillip is not going to return to the team in 2020. So why not get your franchise quarterback of the future, Justin Herbert from the Oregon Ducks? Like I said, the Chargers aren't going to have a quarterback to start at the start of the 2020 season unless they go after a guy like Teddy Bridgewater or another free agent in this free agency class. But Easton Stick is not the answer, in my opinion. I believe he was a 5th or 6th round pick. And Justin Herbert has a very strong arm. Reminds me a lot of Josh Allen, kind of that big, tall prototype quarterback with a very strong arm, but is a little raw with his accuracy. And that's just something that the Chargers are going to need to be patient with and develop. But in the end, this is going to be a good overall pick for the Chargers. With the 7th overall pick, I have the Carolina Panthers shoring up the interior of their defensive line by getting Derrick Brown, defensive tackle out of Auburn. He's really athletic and he's a great run stopper, but also can get to the quarterback. So I don't know exactly what the Panthers are going to run now that Rivera's gone, whether it's a 4-3 or 3-4, but if they are running 3-4, he can even play 3-4 end. He's just a great athlete, very talented, and I'm a huge fan of his, and I like this pick in Carolina. With the 8th overall pick, I have the Arizona Cardinals going CeeDee Lamb, wide receiver out of Oklahoma. And now, in my opinion, Jerry Jeudy is one of the better wide receiver prospects we've seen in a very long time coming out of this draft. However, if you are Cliff Kingsbury and you are sitting there with quarterback Kyler Murray as your franchise quarterback, why not pair him up with a beast from his former team? They've played together. They know the college-style Kingsbury system. And getting CeeDee Lamb would be a huge addition for Arizona. Huge fan of this pick. And I think it just makes sense. And like I said, Jeudy, in my opinion, is the better receiver. But just for Kyler Murray, they're going to bring in CeeDee here. I think that's kind of a lock at 8. With the 9th overall pick, here he is, Jerry Jeudy to the Jacksonville Jaguars. With the Jacksonville's first of 2 picks in this draft, they're going to go wide receiver. D.D. Westbrook, Marquise Lee haven't really been the answer in Jacksonville. DJ Chark has shown signs of greatness this season. I think he could be a solid number 2 or that slot guy for years to come. But Jerry Jeudy is a purebred number 1 wide receiver. Insane route running, better route running than most NFL wide receivers right now. Like I said, I think he's one of the better wide receiver prospects we've seen in a very long time coming out of the draft. And I think this is just a great fit in Jacksonville, who needs some help at the position. With the 10th overall pick, it is no surprise that the Browns have, or no secret that the Browns have not been able to protect Baker Mayfield. And I think that's kind of one of the big reasons why he struggled so much this year. Just his pocket presence wasn't that great to begin with, and when he is getting sacked and touched every play, it makes it hard for a guy to focus on what's going on down the field, and it's easier for him to focus on, where am I going to get hit from this play. So I think that's really why he made so many mistakes this year, along with the bad coaching. But regardless, Tristan Wirfs is a great prospect out of Iowa. Very strong and very talented. I like this pick for the Browns. They need offensive tackles. So if they can get Wirfs or Jedrick Wills, who you'll see a little later in this draft, I think it is perfect for them. With the 11th overall pick, I have the New York Jets going AJ EPENESA out of Iowa. Great edge rusher. Another guy that is very fast off the ball, kind of like Chase Young. I mean, obviously Chase Young's on a whole nother tier, but AJ is very talented, can get to the quarterback, also gets off that edge fast enough where he can stop run plays. He's just that quick. And I like him a lot. I think he can be a great fit in New York. Replace Leonard Williams, bring more speed than Leonard Williams ever did. Leonard Williams was more of a 3-4 end than a 4-3 end. So if he could get a fast, elite edge rusher off the ball, then I think it's a great pick for New York. With the 12th overall pick, and this is the dream scenario if you're a Las Vegas Raiders fan, Isaiah Simmons, the linebacker safety hybrid out of Clemson, going to Las Vegas. Now, this guy is an overall beast. He's going to be a freak of nature at the combine. I've said this in past videos, but I do believe he's going to be like this year's DK, where everyone gets really hype about him. And but instead of falling to the second round, he's definitely going to be a top 15 pick. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes top 10. But regardless, the Raiders do need a linebacker help, and Isaiah Simmons brings that. He can run stop it very well, knows where the ball is, has really good IQ, and tracks that ball down very quickly. And the other thing he brings to the table is he's kind of a coverage linebacker, because he does play safety at Clemson from time to time, and he knows how to defend wide receivers, let alone tight ends. Obviously, he can do that with ease and running backs out of the backfield. He's just going to be a great fit in Las Vegas, and I like this pick a lot. And knowing Mike Mayock's knowledge about the draft, I'm sure he already has his eyes on this guy, and he is drooling over Isaiah Simmons. So this pick is perfect. With the 13th overall pick, I know a lot of people are saying Indianapolis should go quarterback, but you signed Jacoby Brissett to a 2-year deal. Why not see how he does next year? Just give him a chance. You could even bring in an older vet. I know there's rumors that they're going to go with Phillip Rivers in free agency. Just see which one of those guys provides the most help for you at quarterback. If neither one of those guys are the answers, then you turn to quarterback next draft. But I don't think it's time to hit the panic button just yet. You can even go quarterback second or third round here. Get a guy like Jordan Love out of Utah State or Jake Fromm out of Georgia in the second or third round. But regardless, their defensive tackle or their interior defensive line needs help. And Javon Kinlaw is a beast, one of the best run stoppers in this class. Very talented and very quick off the ball. Can really beat up centers and guards in the SEC, and I think that's going to translate directly to the NFL, and I like this pick a lot for Indianapolis. With the 14th overall pick, I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going Jonathan Taylor, running back out of Wisconsin. Now, you could argue for really all 4 of the best running backs in this class to go number 1. Out of running backs, obviously, whether it's Travis Etienne, Jonathan Taylor, J.K. Dobbins, or DeAndre Swift, I could see all of those arguments as valid. But in my opinion, Jonathan Taylor has been consistently good throughout his college career. His first 2 years, he's averaged 18 yards per carry. He's put up 2,000 yards multiple times. Sorry, not 18 yards per carry, 8 yards per carry. He's put up 2,000 yards multiple times. And he has also this year had 6.9 yards per carry. Obviously, it's not as great as his first 2 years, but it's still a significantly large number. And he's super talented, very good ball carrier vision. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, if Javon Kinlaw is off the board, if guys like Jeffrey Okudah are off the board, then I think they're going to go running back. They obviously need help on the defensive line. I know Vita Vea is there, but they could always transition to a 4-3 and get another big defensive tackle. But I really think that if the top cornerbacks off the board, top defensive linemen are off the board, then they're going to go with Jonathan Taylor here. The 15th overall pick, this pick scares me because this will make Denver's safety duo literally insane. Grant Delpit to the Denver Broncos. Now, the Denver Broncos have a lot of needs, and obviously Jedrick Wills would be a good Garrett Bowles replacement here, but I feel like the John Elway is tired of reaching on quarterbacks and reaching on offensive tackles, so why not boost your defense even more? The side of the ball that he's been better at drafting throughout his entire GM career at Denver, and I think Grant Delpit is probably still one of the best players in this draft class. So elite at that safety position. I know he had some tackling problems this year, but he still won the Jim Thorpe Award, and that is because this guy's coverage and range skills are amazing. He will come from one side of the field to the other just to break up a pass. He's so athletic. Also was a fantastic tackler last season. I don't really know what happened this year. He started missing a lot more tackles, but tackling can always be taught, but his coverage skills tackling can always be taught. English is hard for me, but his coverage skills are unteachable. He's just so natural and so gifted, and Justin Simmons and Grant Delpit will be one of the best safety duos in the NFL. With the 16th overall pick, I have the Atlanta Falcons going Christian Fulton, the cornerback out of LSU. In my mind, Fulton's a little overrated, but I think the Falcons have shown interest in him, see the potential he has, and he's a very good cornerback, but like I said, a little overrated. I don't even know if he's the second of the class. I might even put Trevon Diggs over him, but that's all for my big board video, which is coming out soon, by the way, so stay tuned for that. But regardless, the Falcons aren't going to pick high enough to get guys like EPENESA or Derrick Brown or Javon Kinlaw. So I think it makes sense for them to still go defense, get their cornerback of the future in Fulton, and secure their secondary. With the 17th overall pick, this is another pick that's kind of a lock to me. It's either Delpit or Xavier McKinney here. They're going safety, Dallas is. And since Delpit has already left in my version of this, then it just makes sense that Xavier is going to be the pick here for Dallas. And Xavier McKinney is a very good player. Not only is he a great coverage safety, but he's also kind of like this box linebacker that Alabama plays him at, especially versus passing teams. He's played in the box, been that linebacker that can coverage very well. A great tackler, great run stopper, and it's just going to be a really good replacement to Jeff Heath in Dallas. With the 18th overall pick, and this is an absolute steal, if the Dolphins are able to get Tua Tagovailoa and that get his most reliable pass blocker in college, Jedrick Wills, it would be the dream scenario for Miami. Jedrick Wills is a fantastic offensive tackle, definitely top 3 offensive tackles in this class. Alex Leatherwood has just announced that he is returning to Alabama for his senior season, so Wills is going to be the top offensive tackle prospect from Alabama here, and he is a beast, great pass blocker, and really it would just be perfect for Tua to have a guy blocking his blind side that he's comfortable with, and it makes sense that Jedrick Wills goes to the Dolphins here. With the 19th overall pick, Henry Ruggs III to Alabama. This guy's an absolute speed burner, great release, super fast. I think he's going to have the fastest 40-yard dash in this combine. It's up to him and KJ Hamler. We'll see how that all plays out. But he's also a very good route runner, underratedly so, in my opinion. And I think he's going to bring the spark to the Las Vegas offense that definitely needs it. So they go Isaiah Simmons, they go Henry Ruggs with their 2 first-round picks, and I think that's going to grade out as a very good first round for them. With the 20th overall pick, we have Trevon Diggs, the cornerback out of Alabama, going to Jacksonville. And in my past video, I saw that a lot of you guys commented that my analysis on Trevon Diggs was wrong, that I was calling him slot cornerback, and that's actually correct. You guys were completely right. I was watching, or the only film I've ever saw from him, where I watched him the whole game, was that LSU Alabama game where he actually did play a lot of slot. But now that I've seen his film from other games, he does play boundary a lot more, and I do apologize for that. Regardless, Jalen Ramsey was that boundary guy in Jacksonville, so why not replace him with Trevon Diggs? Great cornerback here, and I like this pick a lot. With the 21st overall pick, yes, Justin Jefferson to the Philadelphia Eagles. Justin Jefferson is rising on my draft board very quickly. I think he's top 3 wide receiver, top 4 wide receiver in this class, and the Eagles, they're not going to reach on a cornerback after Fulton, OKUDAH, and Diggs already taken. I mean, I know they could go PAULSON, ADEBO, or Shaun Wade, but why not, or why reach when you could get a wide receiver of the future in Justin Jefferson? Very talented player, 1,000-yard receiver, clean route runner, super great, good hands, knows how to find space and get into the end zone. I think he's going to be a good fit in Philadelphia. With the 22nd overall pick, this is going to make Tennessee's linebacker core insane. Pairing Harold Landry up with KLaVon Chaisson out of LSU would be fantastic for the Tennessee Titans. 2 really good speed rushers off the edge in Tennessee would make them a scary team to play for any quarterback and offensive line. And KLaVon is just that guy. He's a little raw. His technique isn't great, but he's just a purebred athlete that can get to the quarterback. Definitely worth a first-round pick, and he's going to be a great fit in Tennessee. With the 23rd overall pick, I have the Buffalo Bills getting their wide receiver of the future, Higgins, out of Clemson. Another beast here, another really good route runner, and he's got underrated speed in my opinion too. He can get open, he can play the slot, he can play outside, and that's exactly what the Bills need. They need a reliable target for Josh Allen, so this pick makes sense. With the 24th overall pick, I mentioned him a little earlier. I have the Vikings getting PAULSON ADEBO, cornerback out of Stanford. Another really fun cornerback to watch, and I think he's really underrated. I mean, I know a lot of the draft experts know his name, but I feel like the average football fan does not know PAULSON ADEBO's name, and that's going to change very soon, in my opinion. Obviously, the Minnesota Vikings need some help on defense. Xavier Rhodes isn't the beast that he once was, and the rest of that secondary is kind of struggling, with the exception of Harrison Smith, obviously. But PAULSON ADEBO is a great player, great addition to the Minnesota defense and secondary, and I like this pick a lot. With the 25th overall pick, the Miami Dolphins are going to go all offense in the first round, get their guy J.K. Dobbins, the running back out of Ohio State. Another beast, super powerful for his size, and also has an insane speed burst, finds the hole, hits it hard, and hits it fast. He can get into the secondary before you blink your eye, and I think he's going to be the running back that the Miami Dolphins have missed out on over and over and over again, whether it's Kalen Ballage or Kenyon Drake. They really haven't had a very good running back in a very long time, and I think J.K. brings something to the table that the Miami Dolphins need. With the 26th overall pick, I have the Seattle Seahawks going GROSS-MATOS out of Penn State. Another very good edge rusher in this class. He is underratedly strong and quick. His size and just the eye test of him doesn't quite add up to that. But I mean, when you watch him play, he sheds blocks so quickly and gets to the quarterback. He's also a very good run stopper. And Seattle needs that. Jadeveon Clowney and GROSS-MATOS could be a very difficult combination to defend, and I like this pick a lot. The 27th overall pick, Curtis Weaver, edge rusher out of Boise State, going to New England. Now, I've heard people say New England needs a tight end. There's an abundance of second and third round tight ends that are worth of first round picks, but aren't going to get picked in the first round, that New England can grab then. And then quarterback is another thing. Why not go after a guy like Jalen Hurts in the second or third round if you're the Patriots and you're in desperate need of a quarterback? Or if Tom Brady doesn't come back, I do see them picking a veteran. It just seems like the Bill Belichick thing to do. Why risk taking a rookie where you don't know what you have in him when you have tape on a guy like Teddy Bridgewater, on a guy like Marcus Mariota, on a guy like Jameis Winston if he doesn't come back? I think that's more of the Bill Belichick thing to do, but I'm kind of going off on a tangent here. Regardless, Curtis Weaver is a beast. Consistent success throughout his 3 years at Boise State, and I know a lot of people say that he doesn't, go up against great talent, great offensive lines, because he doesn't play in a Power 5 conference. He's not going up against Big Ten offensive linemen or SEC offensive linemen. Yeah, that may be true, but guys like Khalil Mack, who went to Buffalo, didn't go against those guys, and their success in college directly translated to the NFL. And in no way am I comparing Curtis Weaver to Khalil Mack. That would be ridiculous, but he definitely has potential, and he will be a great pick for the New England Patriots. With the 28th overall pick, kind of a steal here for the Packers, but they do need a wide receiver. They're going to go Laviska Shenault, wide receiver out of Colorado. Shenault was a guy that was my second receiver at the start of the season. Now he's kind of fell off, but he is still worth a first-round pick in my mind. He's like 6'1 or 6'2, but plays like he's 6'7, goes up and gets the ball. Very strong, very fast, and I like this pick a lot for the Packers to go alongside Devontae Adams and get Aaron Rodgers a new toy. With the 29th overall pick, I have the Kansas City Chiefs going Tyler Biadasz, offensive lineman out of Wisconsin. Now, they could go running back here, but they could go running back in the second round, get a guy like Chuba Hubbard, get a guy like DeAndre Swift if he's still there, get a guy like Travis Etienne if he's still there. So I think Tyler Biadasz is going to be a steal at this pick. They really need an offensive lineman that can open up run lanes and also pass block for Patrick Mahomes better. And I think Tyler Biadasz is a great overall offensive lineman. He knows how to pass block. He knows how to run block. Captain at Wisconsin, and he's just a really, really good player. And I like this fit in Kansas City. With the 30th overall pick, and this is another steal, Kenneth Murray, linebacker out of Oklahoma to the New Orleans Saints. Demario Davis is getting old. Kiko Alonso is not the answer. And they really need this athletic linebacker type player, and Kenneth Murray is that guy. Going to be a fantastic fit in New Orleans. They're not going to reach on a wide receiver here if Jefferson, Shenault, CeeDee, Ruggs, and JEUDY are all gone. It doesn't make sense to me that they would get a wide receiver here when they could get Kenneth Murray, shore up their linebacking core, and then go back in the second round because this is a very deep wide receiver class and get one there. But regardless, Kenneth Murray is a beast, and I like this pick a lot for the Saints. With the 31st overall pick, San Francisco 49ers are going to get Shaun Wade, cornerback out of Ohio State, another very good player. And I like him a lot. I mean, he was more of a second and third round player for me at the start, but after seeing him play versus Michigan, Wisconsin, and then I watched the Clemson game, he's kind of growing on me, and I do now think he's worthy of a first-round pick. Very good in coverage, great ball skills, and the 49ers secondary isn't that great. Obviously, Richard Sherman is a fantastic cornerback, but he's getting up there in age. The rest of the guys have actually come along really nicely this year, but this is a key piece to the defense if they want to continue their success in 2020. With the 32nd overall pick, and this is a botch because I don't have his picture, but Brandon Ayuk, wide receiver out of Arizona State, going to the Baltimore Ravens, another really nice player in this class, very talented, strong release. He can kind of get away from cornerbacks very quickly. He's more elusive too, and I like him a lot. He's also another guy that's kind of growing on me, and it just shows you how quickly things change in the NFL draft when the guys, who were like, take Joe Burrow, for example, was not even supposed to be drafted at the start of this year, and now he's going to be the first overall pick in the NFL draft. And as the season ends, more and more guys move up the board. So all this stuff is going to change. Keep that in mind. But right now, I think the Ravens, who actually I believe will trade down because, Dylan Moses isn't coming out of college anymore. Kenneth Murray's already taken. And, all the really good edge guys that they could take are taken. And I think there are three most positions of need are wide receiver, edge, and a linebacker. So if you're not going to take a linebacker, you're not going to take an edge, you don't want to reach on a wide receiver, then I have the Ravens trading down. But why not get a wide receiver here because we're not doing trade downs, and Brandon Ayuk is that guy. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today's edition of my NFL mock draft. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like. If you want to see more mock drafts, please subscribe. We'll see you guys next time.